So we're less than a week away from Thanksgiving break, which means that for most of us, we're less than a week away from traveling. Thanksgiving weekend sparks the peak season for traveling in the United States. Last year, more than 46 million Americans traveled more than 50 miles away from home during this weekend. While most people go to visit family and friends, this is also a very busy time of the year for resort destinations. Popular locations for middle-class Americans include places like Walt Disney World, tropical locations like Hawaii, and for some, the snowy mountains of Colorado. Resorts do a great job of making families feel comfortable in an unfamiliar place, but this hasn't always been the atmosphere of hotels. What was once a segment of the hospitality industry dedicated to providing the necessities, food, water, and shelter, has become this intricate web of concentrations dedicated to providing people with the best experience. The expansion of the hotel industry inclined middle-class Americans to travel more frequently away from home for reasons of recreation more so than business, utilizing hospitality as a luxury as opposed to a necessity. So before Americans could endure the luxury of all-inclusive resorts, they had to settle for the subpar amenities provided by inns. Inns provided single rooms for the guests and sometimes just rented out single beds. While this was more appealing than just staying out in the cold all night, travelers didn't really feel the level of comfort that they felt at home. So they really wanted this new idea of feeling comfortable, and the question that the market was asking is, how do I make my guests feel welcome? Enter Ellsworth Statler, the pioneer of the modern hotel. In 1908, Statler opened his first hotel in Buffalo, New York. He saw this national market for quality accommodations, so he required that every room in his hotel have a keyhole in the door and a bath in every room, and his slogan was "a room with a bath for $1.50." When people stayed at inns, when they paid for the room, that's all they got, a room. Food, beverages, even showering cost extra, so Ellsworth really took the problem and changed it so that travelers would really want to stay at his hotel, and it worked. It increased travel among middle-class Americans, and it increased competition among hotels. Fast forward to the 1950s, and the war had ended, and people were really grasping the idea of the American dream. Families had young children, and they really wanted to spend time together. So in 1952, Kemmons Wilson opened the first Holiday Inn, and he saw this need for the lodging market to accommodate families, so he invented the idea of the double-double. A double-double is 2 double beds in 1 single room, and it was perfect for families. Mom and dad slept in one bed, the kids slept in the other, and they all stayed in one room for a low rate. So now the hotel industry was on the same page, and the question was now, how do I make my guests spend more money and stay longer? The answer was in resort-style hotels. They had everything needed under one roof. There's 2 classifications of resort hotels: destination resorts and ecotourism. Destination resorts require airfare for travel, and they're really luxurious places, usually tropical locations. And ecotourism really takes the great outdoors and gives you this great experience. You can experience all the qualities of nature, but go back to your room and have gourmet food and beverages. While this is really profitable for the industry, it doesn't appeal to middle-class Americans. So the solution to that would come from a cartoonist, Walt Disney. In the 50s, Walt Disney opened Disneyland, the very first theme park, and it was really a great idea for families, but the only problem was that he didn't have a lot of hotels on property, and people had to go into town to stay, which took away from their experience and from his capital. So in the 70s, whenever he designed Disney World, he really made sure that he surveyed the land properly and put on-property hotels in Disney World, and families loved it. They paid 1 fee, and they got food, beverages, a room, admission to the park, and any other luxuries that they could afford. So all-inclusive packages are really a worldwide phenomenon now, and they really accommodate any income and lifestyle. So these innovators really changed the hotel industry drastically in the last century and built up the industry and created this idea of brand loyalty. Thank you.